Do you ever dream about what would be ideal for the world? Right? We have come a long ways, right? So democracy is spread all over the world in the last 100 years. It's amazing. And it's so much better than the monarchies and the dictatorships that once were the dominant governments in the world. Right? There are still some left, but they're gradually changing. Of course, one of the big challenges now that we're facing is we're doing so well that we've grown so huge that humanity now is so large that we're taking a huge toll on the planet. So the question for me is two things in concert together, which we have to think about. What are all the different things we can do to help ourselves flourish in a sustainable way so that generation after generation after generation of humans are living full, wonderful lives, being able to continually build and make things successful and live in such a way that we're in balance and not worried about damaging the planet too much or ourselves. So I've come up with some ideas. One of my big ideas is that the next step beyond democracy, just like democracy was the next step beyond monarchies, is Thrivocracy. So we're talking about a government, or sometimes I like to think of it as an enablement instead of about governing. It's more about enabling things to happen, guiding the right type of direction. An enablement of Thrivocracy, where the single primary common goal is sustainable flourishing. Sustainable flourishing. That combination, those two words together, that everything that we do, everything that the government, everything that we decide as a people is judged based on that. And instead of having tons and tons of laws and rules, I mean, obviously we're going to have some, but instead of that, what if we can get a handful of principles that we say when every law that we create, every system we put in place has to hit these principles? Principles that are already proven to help create sustainable flourishing. And part of the reason for this is because rules tell you what not to do. They restrict you in a lot of ways, but they don't necessarily always guide you in the right direction. They don't necessarily guide you to say, this is what the government should be about. A lot of times that's a tug of war between ideologies, people on the far left, far right. And I think, you know what? Let's step back from all this emotional argument and yelling and you're evil and you're good and you're bad. And instead of basing all these things on emotional reasons, I think we should base it on the emotion of compassion, but balanced with rationality, reason, and evidence. So we're looking at what helps humanity to have a more sustainable, flourishing state.